Howdy, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Saturday Night Forum. Yeah, week 59 now. Unfortunately, my normal partner in crime, Moose Man, is having some internet issues. So it looks like I'll be starting this show off. I see we got Joe in here already. Give it a few more minutes. I know we'll get a few more people in here. We're going to be discussing a few things. Mainly, one of the more important ones I want to address is the new Texas bill. Was it 957? It's basically if it's a suppressor, it's made in Texas, sold in Texas, and kept in Texas. It is not eligible for the NFA. And a letter that the ATF sent back to Texas, basically trying to put them in line. I'm curious to see where this is going to go. What's up, Jared? So I do have that letter pulled up, but I thought before I got into that, oh yeah, absolutely safe hearing or hearing protection. Yep. Let's see here. See if we got it now. Let's try it again. Hey Moose, can you hear me?
Yeah, I rebooted my internet. I can hear you now. I can see you now too.
Okay, that's a bit better. So I was just saying hi to a few people in the chat. I thought I'd start off with some gun news going on around. So apparently there was a representative who was stopped trying to bring a gun on a plane back in February. And now he's possibly looking at, what's he looking at? What are they talking about doing to this guy now? Oh, he was trying to bring it in his carry-on bag. Oh, geez. I don't know. What was he thinking? I mean...
The federal charge. Man.
He says it was just a mistake that he often uses his carry-on bag while not flying to carry guns and ammo. Oh man, jeez.
Perfectly.
So anyway, yeah, they're trying to get him removed. Oh, he's in a wheelchair too. Are you kidding me? Man, that's like, yeah, come on, that's like going against the handicap there. Handicapped people should be allowed to carry guns too.
Of course.
Not in a little while, but no, I know he got a new house and he's been working on that. He's been a busy man. Let's see here.
I agree with you, Joe. Airplane, you should allow you to carry your guns on airplanes.
Yeah.
I remember the good old days when you could smoke on an airplane.
I do too.
Stewardesses get away with it.
Yeah. Boise Airport confiscates 12 or more handguns. I believe that. Yeah, Joe, it sure would have changed the outcome on 9/11, wouldn't it?
course, then the bad guys probably would have had handguns too, so it would have been a shootout. But
Yeah, that's true. Well, everybody died anyway, so guess it wouldn't have mattered. But maybe they could have saved at least one or two of the planes. What's up, Bioxo?
yep. I remember that one movie where they did that, and they shot through the door and killed the pilots and the co-pilot, and then went in and took the plane over.
Wow.
And I thought, why don't they have bulletproof doors on airplanes?
I thought the cockpit doors were bulletproof for the most part.
I think after 9/11 they went in and did some armor on that. But
Yeah, Bug dude. A down plane would have been better than the towers going down. Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, I guess the ongoing spike in gun and
A
ammo
friend of
sales.
mine was flying back to Alaska. Yeah. A friend of mine was supposed to be on that plane that crashed in the field, headed back to Alaska, and he missed the flight that morning. For some reason,
Wow.
his alarm clock didn't go off, and it never failed before. It was divine intervention.
Cool.
Well, I did get Miss Red to drive me to a gun show down in Paris, Texas this morning.
Oh, okay.
And my ammo can guy came back down from Missouri, and I told him I was looking for a few extra 30 cal cans, and he gave me a deal: buy two, get one free. So
Oh, wow.
I got three 30 cal cans for $20.
Nice.
And they're nice. Yep. And then he still had the big, tall 50
Yeah, the
fuse
50s.
cans for $10 a piece.
Yeah, that's
He
usually what
still
I
had
get.
20 millimeter and box 40 millimeter and stuff. But we
Hey, Rainy.
exchanged information. Red sat there and talked her ear off while I walked around the gun show. And I found the guy with the links. He brought me the links for my 1919 A4. I got
I appreciate that,
33
Rainy.
boxes.
Wow, 33. Cool.
33 boxes of these links that were made during World War II by Wells Marine Incorporated. I guess they're kind of rare to find them still in the box, but the guy made me a hell of a deal on them. From what they sell on eBay, I got them for less than about 33%, 35% from what they sell for on eBay. But he was getting rid of stuff, didn't have the gun anymore. So I told him if he brought them up, I'd come down and get them. So he did.
Good to see you, Doc Mac. What caliber are they?
Hey, Doc.
What caliber did you say they were?
The links are for 30-06.
No, I'm talking about the ammo that you got. Right? Isn't that what you were just holding up?
Oh, I didn't get any ammo.
Oh, you didn't buy any ammo? Okay.
No, that's links for the 1919. Yeah, that's for belting up 36 ammo for the 1919 A4. But there wasn't no deals on ammo down there. There wasn't any deals on guns. I saw some nice guns being
Nice. Thank you,
traded and sold.
What's up, AV?
Hey, good evening, Aaron. Bug Dude, Bioxo, Rainy.
Was there a lot of ammo out there, and what were the prices on it?
There was a lot of ammo there, but it was high price stuff that very few people were buying. They still got the $40 price tag on 9mm or higher. They had $1 a round on 5.56 223 ammo. Right now, Academy Sports all over the nation, along with I heard Rural King up like up in the upper Midwest has ammo, and they have cheap prices. Um, the same ammo I paid $42 for at Walmart, they wanted $80 to $100 for. So these guys gouging the price, just wasn't selling it.
Yep. Yeah, it's like cheaper than dirt, man. I'll tell you what, they soured themselves for a lot of people.
They ain't cheaper than dirt.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they had good prices when I first started buying from them. It was, I mean, I didn't understand
20,
their history.
20 years ago, they did. And then I think the company may have changed hands and the guy got greedy and jacked everything up. I mean, I used to buy magazines from them because they had good prices on certain brand of magazines that I needed to convert for my 30 carbine AR. And then they jack those up, and when they go like from $12 to 26 or $32 overnight, something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
What was the price on the brass on the 45 long Colt? 45 long Colt was running, I don't know about the brass, I didn't look at that, but the ammo was running 50 and $60 a box for 50 rounds.
Now, still, yeah,
Way too much.
yeah, over $1 in some cases. Tempo reliable.
If somebody needs some 45 long Colt brass, if they can uh, email Freedom and put it to me, what I can find was I have me and a buddy here to have a lot of brass with some stuff. I mean, we got more 223 brass than anything, but
I do too.
we had a lot of 40 brass, uh, 5 ACP brass. I've got a lot of other rifle brass stuff, like 308, 762. Um, Gosh, I don't know. I've got a bunch of 380 brass and stuff. I've been trying to load as much as I can, though, while I've got components.
So, how about speaking of Texas? Since you were already down there this morning, we'll talk about their new House bill, the 957, which is basically their Hearing Protection Act for Texas, directly for Texas. So what they're passing, and it goes into effect on September 1st, is basically suppressors that are manufactured in Texas, sold in Texas, and stay in Texas are no longer under the NFA Act. So you don't have to wait in a 6 month or a year or 2 year long line to get permission from the government to buy this thing. You don't have to pay that stupid $200 tax stamp. And, anyways, what Mooseman and I were talking about a little bit last night, we're going to go over it more in detail tonight. Let me go ahead and pull up the letter that they penned. I know Guns and Gadgets has been over this, and a few other gun channels have, but
Yeah.
maybe not everybody has heard about this. So this is a letter. I hope y'all can read it well enough. Let's see, I think it's big enough. Can y'all see it? Okay. So basically, what this is a letter that the U.S. DOJ and basically the ATF sent out to all of the FFLs in Texas. Is basically a letter threatening them, saying, "Look, You know, this is already in effect ever since, you know, the original NFA Act, you know, in 1938 or whatever, from 1938, and also the Gun Control Act. So, anyways,
Right.
the
What they're
curious. Yeah,
what
go
they're
ahead,
saying
bud.
is that they still control silencers. They still
Yeah,
control silencers by federal law, and what they're using. Here's what they're using, though. They're using the supremacy clause. That is for the Constitution of the United States. That's not for ATF to use as a law, because the only thing that they have power is over interstate commerce. And this is where Alaska told them the same thing. Look, if our guns are built in Alaska and stay in Alaska, you don't have jurisdiction over our guns as long as they don't cross state lines. This is what Texas is trying to tell them. If you build.
oh crap. Well, that sucks. Just lost the moose. Oh, there he is.
ATS messing with us already.
Right. So, yeah, yeah, and you know the thing is though is once this goes through, you know, I wonder how many FFLs are actually gonna, you know, like put their balls on the table, you know, and you know, and roll the dice and be like, well, you know what, I'm gonna start selling these fucking things. You know what, we manufactured this thing. I know it was manufactured because, you know,
What
maybe they got a friend that lives, or you know, a company that has been manufacturing them for years, and they sell them. Like I've got a place called Mr. Silencer just around the corner. They've got all kinds of silencers in there, but I mean, something like this, it's like hell. If it's Arizona made, and I mean, I don't leave Arizona. I don't travel around the country and stuff like that. Why would I want to right now? Why would anybody want to?
right.
And honestly, if anybody's ever used a suppressor before,
One of the comments I saw made was they should have Governor Abbott. They should have Governor Abbott build a silencer and put it on a gun and use it right in front of the camera, and then see if ATF comes and arrests him for it.
right? Do the weed thing. Don't sell the weed. Sell the bag. I don't. I, I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that one. Don't sell the weed, oh, oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Like, yeah, it's like, no, no, no. The weed was free, man. He was just buying the bag from me. Yeah, it cost $50, but exactly, bug dude. And see now that goes back to pre-Constitution. I mean, as far as building rifles and building your own weaponry, that's always been our right, and it still is. Even though the ATF really, I mean, like they are seriously doing a lot of unconstitutional shit right now. This could almost be considered a constitutional crisis.
It is. And that's why I ran into the Texas people um, that are fighting back. 180,000 pages of federal laws affect Texans, and they want to change that. So if anybody in Texas is there, get hold of these people. Texas National Movement. Uh,
Damn it. What's up, Blaine? Good to see you, man. What's up, Henry? Or Honky? Oh, jeez. Yeah. Moose has had
They're
kind of
doing it to me again.
yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I'm just wondering how many FFLs are going to step up to the plate and be like, you know what? Let's see what they do.
That's the problem, though. They're licensed by the ATF.
Yeah.
That's the problem with that.
And that's where they're going to try and get them into that niche. Yep. Into that lawsuit or criminal, into that crime.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that, say you,
Yeah.
say you go,
And say they arrest.
what happens if you just bypass the FFL altogether and just go directly to the suppressor company and buy it? I figure that's probably going to be.
What if you build your own?
There you go. Make it out of an oil can. I've seen people do it.
Yeah, these seem to be very popular.
Yeah, right. No, I'm talking about the smaller
It's a
ones.
oil filter, but yeah, they use them for solvent. But well, they use these on for salt.
Damn, what in the hell? That's just messed up. I wouldn't doubt that there's going to be a lot more Texas companies that start manufacturing them, though. That's where you've been, huh, Plumber?
That's where you
All
get
right.
the gray area, you know.
But I like what.
The other thing I wanted to bring up.
Go ahead.
The other thing I wanted to bring up is a fellow on YouTube called 2AEDU got his stream taken down the other night for showing gun parts. He showed a slide with a barrel in it. It was a Taurus. He was showing buying extra parts that are not serial numbered. YouTube struck him and took his channel down, claiming it was a firearm when it was a part. He appealed and lost decision. And this guy has a lot of subscribers. I go over on Friday night and I join in the discussion there. And the other thing he showed was cookies in bags that looked like guns with sprinkles. So we thought, well, maybe they took him down because of the gun-shaped cookies with sprinkles. But YouTube is turning into a bunch of dicks. It was not a violation of their policy, but they claimed it was because they don't know the difference between a part and a firearm. Yeah, I mean, we've got to be careful what we show on here because he just showed different parts that he was buying for spare parts, and they took him right down.
That bug, dude. Yeah, they don't know the difference between boy and girl parts.
You're right,
either.
Bug.
I don't know. That's weird because you got so many gun channels out there that are always showing guns, and then you show like you said, like a magazine. Oh my God, it's a magazine. Woo! really dangerous there by itself. But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, there's nothing in it. It's a piece of metal. It does nothing. I can scratch my ear with it. I mean, we have come to the point in our society that there is no common sense. We've got censorship now, led by the government, and it's totally wrong. And I don't know how we can combat it other than basically maybe finding another platform
yeah,
and getting off YouTube and telling YouTube,
yeah,
go screw yourself.
bite me. Or in Zach, the way Zach always does it. And that's what he's working on. Actually,
Yeah,
he's working on that.
I'm with Zach. Salute. Yeah. I just got some emails from them about having to go in and reset my password. Hell, I can't even find my password. So, uh, and he's come up with some new app for the phone, and I don't do that stuff on my phone. I leave my phone for text and phone calls and taking pictures and transmitting information. I don't use it for internet stuff normally.
Yeah.
You're right, Joe. It was a Mark Series mag. I needed one for a Mark II, and they sold me this one, and it doesn't fit. It must be a Mark III or Mark V mag with the got the what do you call it, the boom thing on it.
What is
Doesn't
that?
fit.
A single stack 9?
22 Ruger 22.
Oh, okay.
It's
Single stack
supposed to have
22.
it's supposed to fit the bigger grip with the thumb grip. I guess a little pinky grip there doesn't fit. Red's little 22 Ruger Mark II. I've been having trouble finding magazines. She wanted to pick up a couple of extra mags for her squirrel gun. She shoots squirrels with a pistol, for God's sake. That woman is dead eye.
Right on. You have a few mags waiting for the Ruger to get there. Oh, you build it, they will come. That's like me, man. For the longest time, for like a year and a half, I had you know, like 2 boxes of 12 gauge shells, and I didn't even have a 12 gauge at that point. And finally, it came.
Well, I guess what I found out researching on YouTube is we can do a video on guns, but it can't be a live stream. And then we can post that video as long as it's not a live stream, and they allow that.
Hmm.
But I have heard them taking down some of those streams even, but they weren't done live. So it's just when you start getting this communist censorship, when you're trying to educate people and we're trying to help end gun violence, we're trying to make it safer so children aren't shot. And they're shooting themselves in the foot by not letting us accomplish our goal that we want to a goal. That because we don't want people, we don't support criminals. We don't want children to have access to guns and injure another child. We want the same thing the anti-guns do in that respect. We just don't want our guns banned. We
Yeah.
don't want to have to lock up our guns or license ourselves or carry insurance or all this registration bullshit or turn in our semi-automatic guns because they look scary.
Yeah.
No.
And Bug Dude, you're absolutely right. I think that is part of it because there have been too many people that have been shot on live streams. And I mean, yeah, I've seen some of the videos. Like I even saw that one rapper that got shot not but a couple months ago. But still, though, I
Screenshot
mean,
what link?
Yeah, it's
Oh, EAVCO.
we'll
I
catch
know.
up.
I deal with the EAVCO. All right. Now, I'll write that down. E. Arthur Brown Company, EAVCO. Thanks, Joe.
Let's see what else did we have in here. Apparently in
If
Michigan.
any of you guys out there, any of you guys out there in chat, I was going to say, if any of you guys out there in chat find deals on ammunition, uh, let people know where the deals are, what city, what company has them, whatever. If it's uh, if it's store only purchase or if they will mail order, because a lot of us patriots, not necessarily me, but a lot of other patriots are still looking for ammo because they didn't stock up. And so, and people need to be training as much as they can. I've quit all my training, basically, other than a little 22 training and test firing because of the price of ammo and not knowing what the current situation is. There is some word that's going to come back for a while, and then in 8 or 9 months under this administration, ammo is going to get very hard to get. So, um, just you never know. We don't have a crystal ball. We can just take what information we got and run with it. Go ahead, Ron.
I don't know. I think that we're going to see it start to come back more and more because we already are. Shit, Jeremy. I hope you feel better, brother. Yeah, bug dude, that's yeah. Unless I know some places are locking down. Um, yeah, it's bullshit. I mean, but we're not going to talk about that. That's one of them no topics, if you know what I mean. I've already had too many friends struck down by that because they claim it's misinformation. It's like, what? How's it misinformation? I don't know. You know, all we're doing is giving our opinions here. You know, I mean, now granted, what we're talking about, this is an open letter, man. It's right there in black and white. You know,
Here we go again.
what's up, Patriots? Patriot, Arc Wild, good to see you. So apparently, in Michigan, one of the drive-through, or I don't know, a Burger King worker allegedly pulled a gun on customers at a drive-through. Wow. I've heard of going postal on somebody, but never going Whopper on somebody.
Yeah.
Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, some guy. Apparently, a World War II Nazi tank discovered in a retiree's basement leads to a legal spat. There we go. Okay, so you're not allowed to own a tank. Well, wait a second. I thought you were allowed to own a tank. Here we go. And there's also a torpedo and an anti-aircraft gun. Geez, you know, God, just half of these damn articles that I'm looking at are all talking about gun violence. And what pisses me off the most about this is where the places where you're getting all these cases of gun violence are also the ones where somebody is found with an illegal gun, the police arrest him, put him in there, put him in front of the judge, and the judge just gives him a smack on the hand, and you're like released on your own cognizance, and you know what, 4 years probation. And it's like, are you kidding me? And so what happens, dude? In some cases, that same day they're back in front of the judge. Yeah, like until they start cracking down on how they penalize people. You know, no more of this slap on the wrist crap, dude. If you shoot at somebody, or if you shoot somebody, or if you're a felon that's caught with a gun, you need to do some time. No more of this, oh, just probation, because it seems like half the time or more when they do that, the next thing that happens is that person goes out, gets another gun, and then that time they actually do end up shooting somebody. So you really want to limit the gun violence epidemic. Start by making them pay for their fucking crimes. Quit trying to come after legal, law-abiding citizens that purchase our firearms legally, use them legally, and they just want to make it harder on us, thinking it's going to slow down the gun violence. Now, I don't know if that's truly what they think. They probably are that stupid. They don't realize that that will never, ever work. But then again, man, some of these people surprise me that they even know how to tie their shoes. So. Dozer. Yep, just throw some armor plating on that sucker. Nah, Griswold, I'm trying to get my camera to focus, believe it or not. Maybe a little bit better. I test. DANGEROUSFREEDOM. Okay, I can still see.
Everything went black here.
What, like power, everything, or?
No, your StreamYard stream went black after I started talking to guns.
Well, the chat's still all here. So apparently they haven't taken the stream down, so that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, but seriously,
yeah, on my,
they really
I put up a sign for people that want good deals. People that want good deals on gun magazines, what's called DNN Sports in Amarillo, Texas. I buy a lot of mags from them, and they've got a lot of pistol and rifle mags for really good prices. and especially the 30-round Marine AR mags for $9.99. They've got a new follower in them that don't jam. You might have to squeeze the top of the mag a little bit, and then they fit just perfect, and they work perfectly. So buy them while you can, people. But they got a lot of 1911 mags on sale right now too.
Right on.
And go off.
Anastasia, good to see you. Yeah, so like I was saying, if they really want to crack down on this gun violence, start getting these people off the street. The ones that you already know have illegal guns. You've caught them with them. And why are you letting them just right back out on the street? Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense. Yeah, actually, it pisses me off more than anything. What's up, JH? He's got bad internet tonight, folks. But like, seriously, am I wrong? Am I wrong? All these places want to crack down on the gun violence. They don't understand that guns are not violent in and of themselves. It's the person that's utilizing it that's the danger. But they let these people right back out on the streets where they can acquire more illegal guns, because I guarantee you, freaking 9 times out of 10, when they bust these people, their guns are illegal. They're either stolen or they're stolen or whatever.
Right.
A lot of times they'll scrub the serial numbers off.
Right. I watched that debate between Lion Noir out of Dallas, Texas, and that anti-gunner out of Massachusetts, Rosenthal, I think his name is, and he was equating that AR-15 should be banned. Nobody needs 30-round magazines and that, but he admitted that he owned guns himself, and he was forced that handguns were used more times by criminals. But his rationale of thinking was comparing it to a car. Well, I wanted to jump to the screen and grab him around the throat and say, "Excuse me, but driving is not a right. Driving a car is not a right. It's a privilege in the United States. That's why it's controlled and licensed. However, my license for driving allows me to drive in all 50 states and Canada."
Yep.
And Mexico.
Yeah. No, I watched one that Colin Noir did recently, and that gunner, or he was. I wonder, might have been the same guy we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it was a debate. They weren't face to face. We had a moderator debate with it going on. But one thing I got out of the discussion was he had met with the Supreme Court justice. Wait a minute, you met with the Supreme Court justice over gun rulings at a meal? What the hell's going on there?
No, I agree. And if it's the same, I'm guessing it's probably the same interview I watched, and I felt the same way, dude. Like he was double talking big time, man. I just wanted to reach through the screen too. It's like, oh man, this guy is an idiot. He's like, but I believe in owning firearms. I've got a gun. And then just the shit he spewed after that, it's like, dude, no, you don't fucking get it, dude. But people, man, I feel like fucking Homer Simpson when he's grabbing Bart. Why, you little? Yeah. Yeah, plumber. Yeah, sure.
Was nuts. And I wanted Colai and Nora to point out that we have over 1 million guns in the United States. So by this guy's numbers, who wants to ban all his guns and everything, by his own numbers, less than 1/10 of 1% of all firearms in the United States are used in crimes or to commit suicide. The other 99.99% are locked away in the hands of law-abiding citizens. They're not committing crimes. They're used to stop crimes, protect homes, protect families, protect livestock across this country. And there is no gun problem. What we have is a propaganda problem by these people that have no clue about guns and have no clue what it means to really have a right in this country, except them trying to dictate what they want others to do and blowing things out of proportion. So it's crazy.
They are crazy.
And the thing is, you can have all the gun registration schemes you want, like Boston, Massachusetts does, and all that. It still does not bring their gun death rate to zero. The same as he was equating it to,
Shit, lost him again. Joe, no.
get the black screen again of death.
Oh, you don't like Coleon? I don't know. I don't mind him. I mean, I don't always agree with his stance, but he is pro 2A. I don't know how he really feels about. Well, I think he even mentioned in that little discussion, because they were talking about the background check, and I think Coleon even mentioned that even that was going against the constitutional rights of the American citizens, but he didn't say he was totally against it either. But it's like, we already have background checks, and for these idiots to come out and say, well, you don't even, you can get guns without a background check. Well, yeah, if you fucking do a direct purchase with somebody, yeah, you can still buy them, but you're not going to be able to register that. You're never going to be able to register that. It's like if I met Prepping Plumber. How well do I know him? Well, I've talked to him quite a few times. He seems like a pretty reliable guy. I don't think he's a criminal at all. If we wanted to sell guns back and forth to each other, then there should be no issue. We shouldn't have to involve the government in all of our fucking business. Bad enough that they're already in our marriage, our child care, our child raising, education, everything else, dude. They have their fucking hands so far up our asses that, even when you sneeze, surprised they don't charge you for using extra air. All right, Prepping Plumber. We'll catch you later. I had to use you as a prop there, man, because I would sell a gun to you. Or
Plumber, you can hear me.
Yeah, and yeah, Joe, there's another good one. Yeah, it is no issue depending on the state you're in, and that's like ammo sales too. Like, I can buy ammo pretty much from anybody that can ship it out, no problem. But you go next door to California, and man, no, you got to send it through an FFL. You have to go in there, And I don't know if you have to do the 4473 or not, but probably do, just for ammo. I think you have to pass a background check in California just to buy ammo anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's totally insane. Which is why I'm really curious about this new case that the Supreme Court's going to be hearing, the New York Pistol and Rifle Association versus Becerra, or what, I can't remember the name, but they're talking about, they make it so difficult for people to get a license. I mean, it's almost like you got to bribe them to get a damn carry permit. You know what I mean? And even then, it's so rare, dude. Like,
Yeah. What I would really like to do is get a group of people and get $1 from all 80 million or 100 million gun owners. $1 from all 80 to 100 million gun owners will give us an 80 million to $100 million war chest to hire the best legal minds in the country to take it to the Supreme Court. Get these laws repealed.
well, there's already a lot of organizations. I mean, the NRA, we freaking, they're still like, well, not anymore. They're fucking, they're high and mighty, like, oh, we're Second Amendment fighters, and it's like, but you were also the ones that pushed through the background checks, All right, so that should have been a red flag for most people, and I think it was. But now we got companies like GOA, FPC. You got your own state and local groups, um, and I donate. Yeah, I mean, I left NRA, and I took the donation I gave them, and I just switched it over to GOA, and also I support USCCA, but they also, they send me lots of, well, they protect my ass, so to speak. I'm getting, it's like a 3-in-1 for them. It's like, not only will they help you out with legal troubles if you ever have to use your firearm or ever get in some kind of situation with your firearm, but they also send you a lot of information, magazines, and all kinds of helpful tips and stuff like that. So I don't know. I've been pretty happy with them. I like the GOA stance, though. You know, basically, the shall not comply, and no, their stance is, it's just, the Second Amendment. It shall not be infringed, and when they say shall not be infringed, they mean quit infringing, but they still do. The government is just getting too big for its britches, folks. I think we all know it. I think they know it. That's why they had to build a compound around their little piece, which isn't even a state. Technically, it's not even part of America, from what I understand. They just were like, oh, we're going to take part of Maryland and part of Virginia, and we're just going to take this 10-mile radius and call it our own, plant our own little flag there and say, screw you peons. We know what's best for you. Do what we say or else. And the people, they obviously do not have the pulse on Americans. Every single time anybody tries to put their thumb down on an American, what happens? Americans lash out. We fight back. We do every fucking time. It's been proven over hundreds of fucking years. Ah, man, these idiots. What's up, Tally? Sorry, I gotta be careful. I'm still Still on my main channel, I gotta be careful not to rant too much. I might get kicked off or something. Say something stupid. Yeah, exactly, Joe. No, I totally agree with that. Yep. Yeah, no doubt, right? I like that one statement that I don't remember who said it, but it's like the Second Amendment was not written when they were coming home from a hunting trip. You know what I mean? They just won a long, brutal fucking war.
All right, we'll try this again.
Oh, wow. I heard you, and you're not breaking up. Son of a bitch.
My whole internet went down, so I switched over and I'm piggybacking on Reds for the time being. Satellite.
Oh, wow. It's coming through a lot clearer.
That's good. That's better than this Okie net I'm on. That's supposed to be high speed.
High speed, low drag.
That's it. That's it.
And any other damn thing we want them for. Amen, Joe.
But like I was saying, I'd like to get 80 to 100 million gun owners to each donate $1 and start a big movement, a war chest, and hire the best minds, the best legal minds in the United States, and challenge every gun law in the books back to 1934, and use the real strategy of, wait a minute, we didn't have communications back in 1934. Nobody knew about it. We didn't have a voice to input. Here we are generations later. We didn't have an input into what was done. So we want our shall not be infringed to not be infringed.
Yep.
And it would take a big money war chest to do that. But, get all the pro gun groups together and uh, you know, get a big legal challenge going and get it before the Supreme Court.
Hell, it'd be nice if we could just get a real pro gun president. I mean,
Well, it'd be
Trump,
nice if we could get a real one.
I know, right? Even Trump, I mean, he came out and said all the things that Americans wanted. And I mean, for a lot of it, I mean, he did help our economy out, got it rolling. Wasn't afraid to stand up to foreign countries, which technically that he was doing his fucking job, dude. That's what's their job? Protect national sovereignty, the people of the United States, which is the sovereignty, and then
Right.
yeah, deal with foreign countries and help keep up economy and also take care of disputes between states.
Our our energy independence as well, and our borders secured like the government is supposed to do. That's
Uh-huh.
correct. The only bad thing is he had some Obama holdover advisors in the background that were playing politics and doing everything they can, and they were the ones advising him on this other stuff, uh, like the bump stock ban and some other things. And now they're coming out and saying, "Yeah, we did it. We led him because Trump is only one businessman. He's looking at the business aspect, and you've got all these issues as president of the United States. He made some mistakes. Nobody's perfect, but he did a majority of the things he said he was going to do. But he had some really piss poor advisors. He had one of the worst advisors on health you could have during this other outbreak. So yeah, I mean, he made some mistakes. I can't hold that against the man though, because when I find out that he had bad people whisper in his ear in which way to roll the tide, you know, it's on them.
Yeah, I agree. Hello, Red Dawn.
I read Don, love the name.
Yep.
That's my favorite movie of all time, especially the original one.
Yeah, the original was best.
Wolverines. I need me a big Wolverines flag. But I did wear my Angry Moose shirt today to the gun show. Got a lot of compliments from some of the gun people on it. Death too. AC.
Gunmaker offers Sandy Hook families 33 million. Here's what they may be considering. This is from NPR.
On the Sandy Crook deal.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah. And that's the thing. How the hell can you blame a gun manufacturer for a kid that kills his mom, breaks into the safe, and gets the guns out and goes on destruction?
Yeah.
When he's already committed, he committed murder, for God's sakes. He committed theft. He broke
Yep.
all kinds of federal, state, local, state, federal laws and all. And how are you going to blame an innocent gun that was sitting there that got stolen? Excuse me. This country has lost all manner of common sense, and so have our liars, our lawyers, and our judges. Judges should not be political, and I'll say that till my dying day. Judges should not be Democrats or Republicans. They should be by the law, by the Constitution. That's what this country was founded on. And anything else is bullshit, as far as I'm concerned. You got to be neutral, and you got to look at the face of the facts, and you got to look at what the Constitution was meant as it was written, not as you think what they meant, as
Yeah.
it was written, because clear and plain English.
Exactly. Like, our Supreme Court, like the highest court in the land, and we already know that they're politicized. Now, granted, I think the ones that Trump elected are probably a little bit more, yeah, I mean, they're conservative, yes, but I mean, they're not like, anything liberal. We're not, they look at it, I think they're going to look at it more fairly than I know like the liberal judges would. Because the liberal judges are just going to be like, no, no. The people should not have that right. And it's like, dude, according to our Constitution, the people have all the rights that anybody else has, including the government.
Right.
That we should have more rights than the government. They work for us, damn it. They
And
need to be
where is our equal protection under the law clause act? Where is that? We're supposed to all have equal protection under the law, yet we're seeing these other groups getting more protection than your own citizens get.
Yep.
We're seeing certain citizen groups getting more protection than what the law-abiding people are getting, and it makes absolutely no sense. And I wish sometimes I just want to give some of them an attitude adjustment upside the head and tell them, what are you thinking? Do you have a brain in there between your ears to know the difference between common sense and what the law is and what this country was founded on, rather than what some political hack has been shoving up your butt with cash to sway your opinion? What are you people smoking? Or are you huffing car exhaust or what? Because
no.
you're literally acting brain dead.
No, they're smoking Parmesan cheese, right?
Well, they're smoking each other, I think, but that's a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Smoking the pole.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm almost wondering, and I wished I was younger, more computer illiterate, and you could set up a computer under the Constitution and then put each case to that computer, but it can only use constitutional law,
Yeah.
what the rulings that computer would come out with. And nobody's thought of this. This just brainstormed in my brain here a while back. Yeah, okay, everybody's talking all this artificial intelligence bullshit. All right, let's see. Let's set up a computer with constitutional law and then run the cases through it and see how the computer would determine the outcome of these cases.
So now, see, my only question on that, are we going to include the Supreme Court cases that have already been filed? I mean, because remember, we had that one, was it the 22nd Amendment, the one about prohibition, and then the 23rd turned around and removed it. But
right.
I mean,
Well, you would have to have that. You would have to have everything included in there, but spelled out for the computer to make its decision as to the Bill of Rights, as to the way the Constitution. Death again.
yeah, the Constitution.
Somebody doesn't want me talking tonight.
It's not me. Yeah, no doubt. What's up, Hanging Arizona? Did you get rain last night, Hanging? Man, it came down. It came down pretty good for about half an hour. It was like
We were
about
100 degrees today here, Ron. We were 100 degrees here, and it felt like about 115 to 125. It was cooking hot.
yeah, no wind.
Very little breeze, especially down in Texas.
Oh, you were already asleep. Oh yeah, South Mountain. Yeah. Although I think it came. I think it came from Colorado way because I had Zach on, and he's up there by the Four Corners. And anyways, he said he had rainstorms during the day, and then I was getting them, like late at night. So I imagine they probably kept headed south towards South Mountain there. What's up, Helen? What's up, Cherokee?
Yeah, I'm looking at our debt ratio now. What we got is not looking good, people, for the American dollar. I crunch numbers all the time, and we're like at 140, 142%. Not good.
Nope. And as long as we got this potato and chief up there, it's not going to get any better. Even
and then I seen something where that crazy old Cortez wants everybody starting in a few years to everybody to get a $1,200 check from the government. Where's the hell is the money coming from? And $600 per kid or something every month. Where?
No, they do that so that people would be like, oh yeah, it's a great idea. I need $1,200. But what they don't look at is, if they gave everybody, all right, we got 350 million, give or take 320 million Americans, legal Americans in America.
Yeah.
And, so they send $1,200 to each of them. I don't know. It adds up to a couple million, just a few million. But yet they're taking out billions and billions and sending it off to foreign countries for stupid fucking research that really doesn't make a damn difference and never will make a damn difference.
Actually, if you start giving everybody $1,200 a month at 322 million, you're talking billions of dollars every month, billions, which soon turn into trillions, which then will turn into Brazilians.
Yeah, no doubt, Hanging Arizona. Yeah, it's just coming out of a tax return.
Yeah.
And as long as I've been paying in, shit, that's a long fucking time. I don't have an issue taking my money, back from the government because I don't trust the government. They always fuck up with my money. If anything, they should be giving us all $10,000 checks. Or take your average age. When did you start working? I started working at 15. Did I work every single day all the time? No, I had breaks here and there, but never more than, maybe a month or two, or when I was injured until this COVID thing happened. But other than that, I mean, I've been a steady worker with, you know, nothing more than a few months off.
I've been working since about 1970, and the value of the dollar has gone down since that time. Hey, how about paying me the 1970s value of the dollar in dollars today, and
Yep.
instead of me being at 25 or 75% below the federal poverty line on Social
Uh-huh.
Security, I might be up there closer to the poverty line, which
Yeah.
would be a blessing for me. And like I watched Nikki stream today in the Meekum car auction, and cars at how many thousands and thousands of dollars old cars are going for. My God. And it made me feel poorer than it made me feel poor.
Yep. No, I feel the same way. Yep, I feel the
My
same
old
way, man.
six My old '67 Chevelle is worth $50,000 and $60,000 for her. I paid less than $1,000 for them back then.
Yep.
If I hadn't have got married and moved to Alaska, I'd probably still have them. But some of the prices at the auction today, where if the economy is bad, where is all this money coming from? That I saw millions go through that auction today. Millions of dollars
Yep.
of old cars and collectors' cars and just some that I wouldn't even considered would have brought that much, and the prices were just astronomical.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
Cherokee.
about
That
right,
sounds about right.
Cherokee.
About 4,000 a month. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, if that was the case, and I retired today, and even collected a third of that, if I started, I mean, granted, I didn't start until the 1980s, but I worked from like 1987.
that was Meekum auction hanging. It was
Yeah,
Meekum
about
auction
87
today.
to
Nikki had going on.
What's up, Reaper? Yeah, no, that was part of what I was gonna say is if they paid us like, from the time we started working and just giving us some of that tax money back, instead of the 1,200, we might be getting 12,000, you know, because of how much we've already put in now. If you're like 18 and you've only worked for like 2 years, you're gonna get the 1,200, but if you worked all your life, you deserve more because you put in more.
Right. The thing
And honestly,
is, though, is when the way 45 had things going, our prices on food was going down, our energy costs were going down,
yep.
and what that meant was the value of our dollar was going up. It was worth more. When it
Mhm.
cost you less, your dollar buys more. Your dollar's worth more. Now it's going the other way. It's going right back down, where it costs you 50% more to fill up your tank now. It costs you 40 to 80% more to buy your groceries. So what that means is your dollar buys less, and it means it's worth less. So
What's
that's
up,
what
Scott?
they're doing is they're crashing the dollar.
Yes, and I think they're doing it intentionally so they can try and get us on that digital currency so they can do that great reset they've been talking about. They're doing all this shit on purpose. Like they're trying to come after our guns. Now, some of them I think are just stupid, but deep down, I know there are people that understand that guns are not the issue and they are afraid of patriots with guns because it's going to get to a point where you can only push us into a corner, and once you push us
Yeah.
into a corner, only two things are going to happen. You're either going to comply or you're not going to comply and push back. And they're afraid of the ones that are going to push back. They don't know who those
Well,
people are yet, but man, they're
it's called fight or flight syndrome. When you get backed into a corner, you either run or you stand your ground and you fight. And people are only going to take it so long before something's going to pop. And that's the thing. We can be we if we're unarmed sheeple, then we're going to see the same thing that happened during the Hitler Nazi regime in the 40s. You're going to see people executed because of being different or their different beliefs or everything. If they had their way, they would do away with all of us. They can't do it as long as we've got the gun. So that's why we'll never give them up. We'll fight and stand. And there's really not enough of them. If everybody finally says we've had enough, we're not taking it anymore, and we fight back. And you got to realize it's actually only a few thousand people in this country running this whole country, and we number in the millions. So they need to start thinking about the numbers and realize that they're outnumbered. We don't want it, but don't keep pushing it on us. I want my freedom. I swore an oath to defend this country, along with thousands or millions of other veterans and law enforcement officers and all that. And there's a lot of good officers now have.
wonder if, yeah, of course. Oh, I'm sure they are. Well, anti-gun lobby, more like it. Hanging AC, they do, and they kick in millions, and sometimes billions. I mean, if you take all the millions and put them together, it's almost billions of dollars, probably.
And where are all the rich Republicans that should be out there doing the opposite of Bloomberg? Bloomberg spending all this money on this anti-gun movement. Where's all the rich Republicans or conservatives, not even Republicans, just conservatives and business owners that should be pushing back pro-gun against this? You don't see it.
No, because I don't think a lot of the rich people really care. They
But
know
they
that
should, because it's their ass.
it's
It's their
really
ass
not.
and their
Look,
money.
they're so rich. They're so rich at that point. They don't have to worry about lawsuits. They don't have to worry. They probably got their own private security, so they don't have to worry about carrying a gun on their hip every day. You know what I mean? And so a lot of
Yeah.
them just don't give a fuck. It's only the people that are in the lower middle class, some of them in a little bit upper class, but maybe not millionaires. But we still donate. I mean, like I said, I give donations to GOA every month and USCCA. I buy ammo, I buy guns, and you know, if I was rich, shit, I would donate a lot. I would donate millions if I had millions.
Yeah. I'm a life member of the NRA, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I'm a life member of Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms out of Washington State, Alan Gottlieb's organization. I'm a Gun Owners of America
Hmm.
member. I support the Firearms Policy Coalition when I can, but it's Gun Owners of America, Firearms Policy Coalition, and some of Alan Gottlieb's. Now NRA is starting to sign back on with some of their lawyers on some of these gun cases as well. But it's like the American gun owner is the kind of people like us. We want to be left alone. But
Hmm.
in the same token, we need to spark them into getting involved if they expect to keep those guns.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the hardest thing. I mean, it's
And see,
like,
the
well,
rich
they're scared
ones.
to use their guns too.
I mean, we know there are some super wealthy people up there, and because if it was just all globalists, then they probably would have already had us by now. But
Right.
I think there's enough American patriots that have quite a bit of wealth that are basically like trying their best to stop these people. But none of these people really make their names known. I mean, we've heard about Rothschilds and stuff like that, but the ones that are really the big money makers probably don't even know their names.
Right. And the other thing these politicians don't realize is what what works in one area doesn't work across the whole United States.
Yep.
And apparently they can't see their own mistakes that they've created in the big cities like Chicago, Detroit, even New York City now, with
Mm-hmm.
all these draconian gun laws, California, LA, all that, all these draconian gun laws. They're the crime spots. And they keep pushing for more and more, but they don't realize they're spinning their wheels where we in the central part of the United States, in the wheat belt and the corn belt and that, we don't have that crime because we do have our guns. So, don't tell me what to do from DC when you got problems in DC that we don't have out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And hey, and that's where each state needs to start exercising, every state governor needs to start exercising their state rights. And
Yep.
if
Their
this
10th
crap
Amendment.
keeps on, I would love to see Texas secede from the Union. I would hope to see Oklahoma join them. I would hope to see Arkansas join them. Go right up
Arizona.
the line with Missouri, Arizona, Kansas, right up the line, South Dakota. Let's get all the Native Americans involved too, because they know they already been through. They know what control has done to them, and they know they were the Homeland Security before, and they see what's happening.
Yeah.
So it.
And it kind of goes back to what I was what I was talking about earlier. When I was talking, oh, damn it, what the hell was I talking about? I was talking about states, and like we were talking about, if they really want to stop gun violence, they need to put harsher penalties on these people. The ones that the illegal ones, because legal gun owners, like you were saying, we don't go out committing crimes. We stop crime. If anything, we prevent crime for
Right.
sure. Because when everybody walks around thinking that everybody or every other person they see is probably carrying. In fact, the other day I went to the store, and I mean the guy had his shirt on, and I check people out. I because I'm carrying too. So I'm checking people out, and I noticed, he had a little bulge down there. Now maybe it was a colostomy bag, but it sure looked like the handle of a pistol. Hey, what's up, Nikki?
If you compare all the guns in the United States to a $1 bill, and this is 1/100th of a dollar bill, then the amount of gun violence is the amount of guns used to commit crime is actually about what this ink pen is touching on this penny. About 1/10 of that penny is what the guns that are illegally used and used by criminals. So we don't have a gun problem, you stupid politicians and you anti-gunner communists. We don't have a gun problem. Let's have criminal control. Let's have stiffer sentences. Let's have enforcement. If you want to go disarm the criminals, you have my blessings. Go start disarming the criminals first. Go start combating this inner city killings and mass shootings, and that are mostly done with handguns. But we still need handguns. I mean, you're not going to get rid of the guns, but let's work on the criminals. Like Thomas
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson said, you don't take the rights of the law abiding citizen because of what the criminals do. You hang the criminals from the gallows. That's what you got to do. I mean, it just still blows my mind that where has common sense gone? Where is thinking, reasonable thinking gone? It's gone out the window somehow. We have a tyrant problem. You got that right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And we've got a way to deal with that tyrant problem too. Man, we're trying the peaceful method first, but
Yeah. Well, Ron, I look at it this way. Look at what our forefathers did. You know, we got in a battle with Britain after they came over and they shot the first black man at the Boston Massacre and several other people, but they killed one of our black citizens. That pissed off the whole colony. Okay, but we went against the largest army and navy in the world at the time. The British Empire was all over the world.
Yep, all
But
over.
we didn't go after them on their turf. We let them come to ours, and we were sitting waiting for them when they did.
Yep.
And that's the posture we have to take, is we have to sit back and be ready for them on our turf, know our territory, and let them walk into the fire. And then when they came over on our land in the middle of the night, George Washington crossed the frozen river on Christmas Eve to kill them in their sleep.
Yes, he did.
So don't think it can't happen. I
Yep,
mean,
it's been done.
that's right. If you fail to learn from history, you're doomed to repeat the mistakes.
Defunding the police. Yeah, yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is they're doing it in these cities that have the most crime rates run by Democrats. That's where they're defunding the police, where they need it the most.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
smart.
I
Okay,
mean,
if I was a
honestly, you
police
know what?
officer,
You could cut half of our highway patrol down here, and we would be just absolutely fine. And really quick, Nikki, don't even sweat it, hon. I know you're busy, so don't worry about it. When you finally get settled again, I'll still be around, unless I'm dead. Let's hope that don't happen.
yeah. Hi, Nikki. It was good to be on your broadcast today, watching the cars go by and making me cry. The thing is, I think these police officers in these big cities ought to just say, okay, we've had enough. Get the blue flu, walk off the job where they're defunding them because they're putting officers' lives at risk. And if money and a job and security and all that is it means more to you than looking at the bigger picture, um, you're thinking wrong, dude. You're thinking wrong. We cannot have a lawful society without law enforcement. And yeah, you know, I'm pro law enforcement. I agree with everybody. There are bad officers. There are people who should never wear a badge. There are
Yep.
people who should not be enforcing the law. And they are not out there for you. They're out there for the law.
Yeah.
So we
And a lot of
citizens
them,
have to take our own protection in
oh,
our own
dude,
hands.
I'll tell you what, and how many of these citizens have come out there and while the cops detaining them, they're like, you realize this is totally unconstitutional. There was no reason for you to pull me over. And I mean, a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but some of these people know the law better than the own officers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Officers have gotten to the point where they start, creating their own laws. It's like shooting people in the
Oh,
back.
I've had interactions like that, and I started spouting the law to federal agents. And they
Uh
go
huh.
over and have their little meeting and talk, and then they'd come back, and I'd spout some more laws at them, and I'd give them the court rulings and everything else. And it was like, uh, this guy knows what he's talking about, and it's yeah, I do, and you don't have jurisdiction here. You know, you're out of your jurisdiction. You can claim it all you want, but I'm not a federal person. I'm a citizen of a state.
Yeah.
I have to follow state guidelines that you put in place under federal law. So that makes me a citizen
Well,
of a state. So I have to follow state laws, and you do
yeah.
too.
And see, well, and that right there starts to become an issue with me. I like what Scott said. He's pro law, but f the Fed. And what you mean is f the bureaucracy, and not to mention that every law that they pass strips another right away from we the people, and they've been
Right.
doing this for years. I mean, we need to go back to the original law of the land. You know, get rid of all these regulations and crap. You know, let people go back to. I mean, you know, if you do something stupid and you blow yourself up, hey, whose fault is it?
Right.
Now, if you do something intentionally,
Hi,
and then,
Rose.
well, I mean, we've seen what happens. Remember Timothy McVeigh? I mean, you
Yep.
know, you go out and do something intentionally, then yeah, you're probably going to get killed for it.
Right. But you know, what can you say about Timothy McVeigh? He
He was radical.
he was radical, but he stood up for something he believed in,
Yeah,
as far as the Waco massacre. And I'll
yeah,
always call it the Waco massacre. I
it was.
watched it unfold live. I watched those people burn to death, those women and children. And
Yep.
you're not going to tell me there was another way to handle it? Bullshit. And Chipman, you should have been
A fucking
hung by the neck until dead for your part in it, along with all your other agents, and also the other agents that shot the other agents in the back because you are poorly trained assholes, and then try to blame it on those people in that house. No, no, don't try it. We saw it, and you tried to change the narrative, and that will never change my mind.
no.
The same as
Chipman's also the one that said they tried to take down a helicopter with, or they did take down a helicopter with a 50
no,
BMG, and that didn't
no,
happen. they didn't
didn't
even have.
happen.
They didn't even have
Did
one. I
not
don't.
happen. Didn't happen. But look at Randy Weaver's
Hey,
wife
Pablo.
sitting there holding her baby in her arms and gets shot by an FBI sniper.
Ruby
She
Ridge.
wasn't armed, Yeah, Ruby Ridge. I mean, American people don't forget this stuff. You think you can brush it under the rug and it goes away? No, it's up here in
Uh-huh.
our little data bank.
Yeah, I keep that shit in mind all the time too. That's
Right.
why everybody calls him the Waco Kid. Now, see, I didn't remember that he was even at Waco. I mean, until people started bringing it up, and it's like, yeah, no, he was like one of the lead guys out there, and it's like, wow, okay, and they want him to
Yeah.
be the head of the ATF. No,
Even the ATF agents don't want him to be head of the
Oh, I
ATF.
heard that. Yeah, even Guns and Gadgets came
Yeah.
out with it today.
He's
I
a
think
dip.
it was just today. You know,
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, why did all these black people pass? They must have cheated." And they had
Yeah.
agents come up and say, "Yeah, he literally said that." And dude, like, come on, that is so freaking racist. Like that right there is
Yeah.
pure racism.
Yeah. And a man loses his guns because he doesn't follow policy, and then he cannot define what an assault weapon is. And really, like I keep telling people, there's no freaking such thing as an assault weapon. That's the biggest bunch of horse shit propaganda term ever put on a gun. Only a human can assault another human. Assault
Yep.
is something a human does against a human. An
Mhm.
inanimate object cannot do it. It's a propaganda lie term that pisses me off every time I hear it, because a gun sitting there cannot assault anybody. It takes human interaction. So I'm sorry, your assault weapon narrative is just a propaganda thing to sway the American public. I'm on to you. I'm
Yeah,
on to you people,
most
and
of
your
us are.
propaganda bullshit. You can
Or
call it
they'll
whatever you
try
want.
they'll try and use the term assault rifle. It's like, now we know better than
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah. No.
Because
Because I can use a baseball bat. If I hit you with a baseball bat, then that's an assault baseball bat, right? No. I have assaulted you with a baseball bat.
I'll tell you
If
what,
I
man,
shoot you with a gun, I have assaulted you with a gun. Plain and simple. You
I've
don't
never
charge the gun with assault.
I've never had a knife or a gun or anything trying to attack me. So
Right. Right. And actually, what they used to say, oh, the first assault weapon was the STG 44. built by the Germans in 1944 was actually the STG stood for Sturmgewehr or storm rifle. Wasn't an assault rifle. It was a storm rifle. So yeah, they get more of their information from Hollywood bullcrap movies than anything.
Yeah. Buy an elk.
And that's the other thing. I don't watch movies because I'm tired. I'm not supporting Hollywood. I'm not renting their movies. I'm not buying their movies. I'm not going to the movie houses anymore. You got all these elite rich bastards making millions of dollars, getting into the political game, running their mouths, and they're on the other side because they're actors. Like we're supposed to put them on a pedestal. You got a job. You pretend to be somebody else. You're a player. You're a little kid playing on a playground on a set behind a camera, and you make millions of dollars for that. And yet you're going to want to tell me what my rights are as a hardworking American. I'm the guy that can change the oil in your car that you can't. I'm the guy that can fix your tire on your car you can't. I'm the guy that can fix your plumbing, wire your house. But you want to tell me that, oh, you shouldn't have a gun. Bullshit. That's what America's about. Freedom. My freedom of choice is I'm not no actor. I'm the real deal. I'm sitting here in front of whoever's watching me on camera. I'm a human being.
Nikki. Right, yeah, no doubt. That's the only time you ever get assaulted is when it's your fuck up. So
Tripped over.
maybe you should turn the light on.
Oh, no, it stubbed her toe. Oh my God. We'll have to ban that AK. You can send it to me for disposal, Nikki.
Okay, so does that mean that the last time that I kicked the coffee table, well, I was walking through the living room naked in the dark? Does that mean that is an assault coffee table now?
Yep. Yep. And every car that runs into a
blame it on the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe.
So that means that means that hey, that means that these needles that are killing people are assault needles.
No, there you
go. With
go.
an assault vaccine.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I never thought of that. Assault needle.
Yeah. 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 They're assaulting people. And see, that's another thing. That just came into my mind. If you stick somebody with something, if you stick somebody with something, you have assaulted them. If you stick them with a knife, that's assault. Well, if you stick them with a jab, that's assault too. If you didn't want it.
Oh man, that'd be a good one. Death by toothpick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reminds me of that one part from the Riddick series where he's in the prison and he's all like, I'm going to kill you with this. And he puts down a cup and they're like, whatever. He kills them all.
Yeah. I wasn't going to go there, Pablito.
And assault. Yeah, no, Pablo is an old friend of mine I used to work with him.
Oh, that's cool. Hi, Pablo. So glad to meet you.
Yeah, dude, he actually was one of my mentors when I was down there because he'd been there about a year longer. Well, in the division, we were in shipping. We were shipping explosives. Oh, and I think he was there like 8 months or something before me. And so when I finally got to the point where they thought I was ready to be let out of the nest, so to speak, and spread my wings, they did. And he was part of my help. He always helped me out. Not to mention we used to bullshit a lot.
That's cool.
The assault needles.
Yep. See, I come up with a good idea once in a while in this crazy brain of mine.
Assault McD's. Oh yeah, assault. What do they call it? Big Macs? The assault Big Macs. It takes a long time to kill you, but they'll kill you. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, when me and Pablo used to work just together, dude, it was fun. It was always fun. Actually, dude, we had a pretty good group. I mean, Eric was the only kind of downer because he was the one that always had to. Um, he was the one that was more anal about the safety and everything. I mean, he was still a good guy. Don't get me wrong, but he was just the one that you wouldn't want to bullshit with too much. You know, you could go in there and talk to him, and I mean, have a decent conversation with. But yeah, like you don't want to talk about the hooker you banged the night before or anything like that with him. Whereas me and Pablo would have discussions like that, what new guns we got and what we keep in our vehicle and shit like that. And we had Lee out there too. Lee was badass. I still talk to Lee. Do you still talk to Lee, Pablo? But actually, he's got two more of these magazines. These fucking 7 round. They're 7 round magazines for my Springfield, and they want like freaking 35-40 bucks for them, man. But I'll tell you what, I've
Really?
got yeah, I've got like 2 of them right now. I've tried to
Check
modify
it.
one before.
Check
Do
it
what?
CDNN and see what they got. CDNN carries a lot of pistol magazines, and so does Centerfire Systems. But I buy a lot from CDNN, and they have a lot of pistol mags at a pretty good price. And then
It's
if they
cool.
don't have them, there's a Gun Mag Warehouse. They're a little more expensive, but you can
I
search
wish
and
I
find them.
I wish I could show this on air, but I'm afraid that they'll try and strike
Yeah,
me for
don't. Yeah,
showing mine.
don't.
But like right now it's got the extension thing here. So
Right,
normally it's just a 6 round mag.
right.
That sits flush. But with this, it gives me enough to where I can get my pinky around it too. Because otherwise you're firing it like 3 fingered, and
Yeah,
we all
yeah.
know that's not the most accurate way to fire a gun. Can be
Right.
done.
CDNN has a lot of Glock mags for you Glock people. CDNN carries all kind of Glocks and extended mags and all that at really good prices. So yeah, I can't find any more mags for my P220 SIG 45, but I made a discovery that regular 1911 8 round mags will fit. I just have to cut the locking slot on the other side of the mag, the dual slot,
Yep.
and they'll fit, so I'll be able to adapt them. So I've got to buy some mags and set up a jig where I can actually machine mags, and it'll give me more than the 5 mags that came with the gun. Not that I really need more than 5 mags. It's just nice to have because I'm a mag and ammo holic. And as you can see, I've been prepping more brass, getting ready to do more loading. It's amazing how much it adds up when you load 50 to 100 rounds a night.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's that's usually more than you can shoot in a day.
Well, I can shoot that in about 10 minutes, but
I'm saying yeah,
yeah,
but you don't do it every day. I mean, most I know there are people that actually do it every day, which is
I
awesome. I
used
mean,
to.
but it seems
I
like the
used to.
people that have like a firing range where they can go out and shoot right off their back porch usually don't go through as much ammo as like the guys that have they wait a month or a couple weeks to go out and then they shoot 2, 3, 400 rounds. You can just do it
Yeah,
off the porch, man. Just see a fucking squirrel out there, take your 22, bink. 1 round,
yeah.
that squirrel. And
I've got my own 50-yard range here, and then I've got a 130-yard range across the road from me.
oh,
That's a government range. But
oh, cool.
I usually just now set up and take my ammunition out there to dial in my scopes and get them set. And then once I got them set, you know, they're ready to go with that particular load, then I'll leave them loaded and put them back in the gun safe. And but I've done so much practice now over the years. I mean, it seems like once I get back on the bench, I automatically go into my breathing, taking my deep breaths, letting it out, take a deep breath, let half of it out, hold it on the target, squeeze the trigger, and then breathe. Like I do for competition shooting. I mean, it's like riding a bicycle, I guess. Once you've done it so many years, like I have, it's just natural to control your heartbeat, because I can see my heartbeat flip in the crosshairs, and you can't blow that X out when it's doing that. So
yeah, that's cool. Hanging in Arizona, I remember that back in the day because I've been here a long time too. I remember when well, of course, if you live in Arizona, you know the US 60 stuff. The one of the main highways down here links up to the I-10, the I-17. It links. It's a big part of our thing. But I remember when it stopped at Power. Now I live around Power, and so I would take that thing out. We would take it up till we had to exit. We'd take baseline down, and we could take baseline out there. And by that point, the freeway wasn't finished, so there was no major construction going on. Not hardly anybody lived out there. You could go out there and just shoot. Yep, I remember that. And now that shit's all built up. They got a fucking mall down there, fucking everything, dude.
Superstition Freeway, yeah.
Yep, you know the one. Damn it! Come on, camera.
Is that big Apache Indian casino still out there? It would be east of Globe in Miami.
Mazadel.
There's a right out in the middle of nowhere in the desert. They build this big giant casino. Because I went there and played for a while.
East of Globe in Miami. Geez, yep, you know what? It's been so long since I've been out that way. I couldn't tell you. Remember the name of it?
No, it's just a big Apache Indian casino right out in the middle of the desert. You're going.
I don't know.
The left-hand side of the road is a great big casino and all that, and then it's desert for more miles. And I forget what the name of the next town was. There was a town there, a small town, and I remember there was a GI surplus place there, right on that highway.
I don't know. I've only been to Globe like 3 times, and I never went to the casino, but it's probably still there. The only times I went to Globe was because I had a friend that lived out there, so it's like I would drive from where I'm at to his place. It only took a couple hours. It's not really a bad drive if you don't mind staring at brushes and cactus and shit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, you can fly. You can do 75, 80. I don't like to push any more than 80 on that in certain areas, just because occasionally you'll get the trooper out there, or if it's fucking bad weather or you got stupid drivers. But no, like do you remember where Queen Valley is? Because that's normally where I go shoot. Queen Valley, it's kind of it's just past Florence Junction, and it's on the way to Globe, and that's usually where I drive to.
Because my family old homestead in Globe, my family's old homestead was in Globe, is now where the Copper Top Motel is. That was my family's homestead. And my dad and my granddad and my aunt are buried there together in the Globe Cemetery. And that's when I was down there last. I flew down there to bury my dad back in 2000. And we took a cruise out that way, and then went north. There's a big lake up there on the right. I remember when we turned north on the highway, I forget what the roads were. My brother was driving and I was kind of sightseeing, but it's like whoa, here's this big giant casino. Never been there before.
Nah, just, I don't
And,
remember the casino. The way I remember
and
is when I drive up the Globe, I see the mine, or at least what
mhm.
used to be a mine. Big,
Consolidated Copper.
yeah,
That's where my uncle worked. My uncle worked at
yeah.
Consolidated Copper all his
So,
life till he
so
retired
it's
from
like,
there.
yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about, but no, that's Queen Valley is where I usually go shooting. You don't have to pay money. You don't have to abide by a shooting instructor's permission. You have to use common sense. And I'll tell you what, that's where I started teaching my kids how to shoot. And I like it
Yeah.
because you can still drink beer.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope to get out that way someday again. I like the Globe Miami area. It was kind of nice, and there were some pretty girls there, and
Pops grew up in Tombstone, yeah.
you know, my dad grew up in
Well,
Globe, and
oh,
he flew out of Luke Field when he joined the Air Force. He flew out of Luke Field.
uh-huh. Yep. That's a bit north. I know we had Williams Air Force Base, but they shut that down. Now it's part of that freaking Phoenix College, something like that, and it's also an airport, which is cool because, yeah, I mean, granted, it's not as big as Sky Harbor, but they can land the big jets. I mean, they used to take off C-30s from there back in the day, you know.
Yeah,
So
and I lost track of some friends I had in Phoenix. And it's funny, their names were Dick and Lila. I don't remember their last name, but Dick and Lila. I met them in Alaska. They owned a jet engine plant in Phoenix,
hmm.
and I never got back down there to visit them because of the time schedule I was on. I called and talked to them while I was down there on the phone, but yeah, they
Yes.
build jet engines. They had their own jet engine company down there. But he had a jet boat up in Alaska that I worked on for him, and I got running when nobody else could. I troubleshot this brand new jet boat, took it out, fine tuned it and all, so that they wouldn't get killed on the river. And I kind of impressed the guy. And then he found out that my
Yeah,
he was
hanging
from
Arizona.
Phoenix.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Gateway Airport. Yeah, that's what they call it now.
yeah. And I always wanted to go gold mining in Arizona. It looks like I'm not going to get my wish, but I
Yeah.
always wanted to
Well,
go gold prospecting and gold mining, and maybe look for the
I
old
did.
lost Dutchman mine and that kind of
I'll tell you
stuff.
what. I was fortunate, Moose. I had a buddy of mine that him and his dad moved in, and he was single with his son, and my mom was single with me and my sister, but we started hanging out. We were about 16, 17. I met him in my teens, and anyways, his dad, he was a truck driver, but on his off time, he was also part of a prospecting club. So occasionally he would be like, "Hey, do you guys want to go up there for a day and go prospecting with me?" And like I mean, once you join a club, dude, they like buy a huge section of land, and freaking these guys, it was cool because they had a huge fucking pond, and and freaking they had the sluice all hooked up.
Bring
We
your
could,
sluices.
yeah, bring your sluice up there, and we'd just sit there and pan through this stuff all
Yeah,
freaking day. Um, he
yeah.
he got some,
I've got I've
like
got
the
specialized detectors for finding big nuggets. I've got a specialized detector for nugget shooting that works extremely well. But I learned to read geology and where the erosion would take the gold and funnel it down. I learned how to read that kind of geology where I wasn't wasting a lot of time and I could do a quick survey and get in there and find out where a lot of gold was. And yep, just never had the time to get down to Arizona and do that.
And
I
I'll
think
tell you
Princeton
what,
did it though. They used
dude,
dry puffer bottles.
you gotta remember, dude, a lot of the people that went searching for Lost Dutchman's gold have died.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind too, folks. And not to mention that, like, dude, if you had a helicopter or something to get up there, yeah, that wouldn't be bad, but that is one
Yeah.
hell of a damn hike if you're doing it on foot, because I've been at the base of the Superstition Mountains. I mean, in fact, it's not even
Yeah.
25 miles from me.
Yeah.
And I seen that sucker with snow on the top of it, and it's like, holy crap, it's really cold over there. But yeah, dude, yeah,
Yeah.
people die out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can die anywhere though. But yeah, a lot of rattlesnakes out there and stuff. But there's some strange stuff out in the Superstition Mountains that we actually flew over when my dad was a pilot, and we'd go flying out around there when I was a kid. And we saw some strange things on the ground, man. Like looked like somebody had set up ceremonial places or something out in the middle of nowhere in the desert near those mountains.
The White River on the res. Oh, yeah, possibly hanging Arizona. It might be
Yeah. Yeah.
Dark Mountain. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. Hanging AZ. I don't remember that one.
I've been hoping that TV show would come back on. That group went into the Superstition Mountains and they ended up finding this cave with this big ladder going up that was old, and they come in by boat uh, through this waterway and then hiked around the mountain to get into it when they discovered it. And they ended the series right there, and they were supposed to be on the trail. They were following all the markings of where this
Uh huh.
Jesuit treasure was supposed to be, and that. And then they took the series off the air. It was weird, and it's never come back on yet to see what they ended up finding. So,
Or maybe they died up there and they had to end it.
well, they had a film crew and all with them, so it would have been, you know, something else. But they
Maybe it
had
was
boats and they
Sasquatch.
had a big support. They had a big support crew of people.
Well, I don't know,
Never
man.
opened
I
a
mean,
desert pool.
if 4 or 5 people go missing up there, I mean, it's something. But like, seriously, a pack of fucking mountain lions could do that.
Yeah.
Drag their bodies off. Anyways, we are almost at the 2 hour mark, and I want to make sure I want to keep this in time, so that way, I don't run too long. I save that for the after dark. But
Yeah.
anyways, if y'all haven't followed me at the After Dark channel, it's just Dangerous Freedom After Dark. You'll see a cat laying over his food bowl. Um, and that's where I go pretty much every night. And anyways, we get interesting conversations and interesting people up there. Like last night, I had a guy that came up first time on there. It was my buddy
Daniel.
Daniel over there in Greenland, all the way from Greenland, and talk about fucking beautiful. Oh my god! If you want to see it, go back to my last night's channel. Is towards the middle to the end. Um, but my buddy Daniel came up there and showed off where he's at, and like seriously, it was gorgeous. But
It reminded me a lot of Alaska, and he's actually reminds me more of Alaska Eskimo type native and culture with his facial features and that, and the
yes,
same. They live the same way, and they eat the same things. So yeah,
Scott,
Daniel
hello.
Daniel's a cool dude. Daniel is a cool dude.
Yeah. And Scott, one more thing. I have been out here where on one side of the street it's raining, and if I cross the street, it's dry. So I know, yeah, I know what you're talking about, Arizona weather. All everybody, I want to thank you very much, and follow me on the After Dark. Pablo, if you got the night off, I'll be on here in about an hour or two, probably about an hour. Yeah, I'll probably go on there at 9. Let me see if I can pull up the channel link, and then that way you can just do that. Let's see here. Oh, there we are. Boom. I pop right up. How about that? Anyways, yeah, this is my After Dark channel. Like I said, I'll probably only wait until about 9 o'clock. It's only 8 now. I'll probably go back live on it at 9 because I haven't gotten a whole lot of sleep. So I'm probably going to try and end it around 1 o'clock in the morning, or maybe even midnight. But
Yep.
thank you all for coming
Know
out.
that.
Oh, hey, well,
Yep.
aloha, I guess. Yeah, it's a hello and goodbye. Anyways, I will see you all soon. Moose Man, love you, everybody.
Love you too. Thanks everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check that thumbs up box and give old Dangerous Freedom your support. Keep your powder dry, keep your head on a swivel, and keep your faith in God strong. We'll get through this.
Amen, brother.